Greetings folks, and I hope you're all happy and healthy wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for a Go Figure preview special. So, Inart have been busy. They have dropped their first look and a pre-order date for their The Dark Knight Returns Catwoman, as played by Anne Hathaway. And they've also today given us a unboxing video, and I would recommend you check it out, for their 1/6 scale take on Severus Snape, aka Alan Rickman from the Harry Potter films. So I thought, because I'm a little bit behind on the Severus Snape figure, and we've also got the Catwoman figure, I thought I'd roll both of these two together for a little bit of a special where we can take a look at some of the images. We will start with the Severus Snape and move on to the Catwoman, but before we dive in, I would like to send a massive shout out, as always, to everyone who's supported the channel. Couldn't do it without you, and a massive thanks. And please drop a like and hype on this video, as it helps other people find the channel. And if you haven't already, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon, so you're not missing any of the 1/6 scale reviews, previews, showcases, tours. I could go on and on and on, but yeah, mash that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. So let's dive in. We'll start with Severus, Mr. Alan Rickman, and have a look. And the reason why I've included this figure in this particular preview is because, having seen the video, the shots of the actual figure itself and the promotional shots, there is no difference. This is the quality that we're looking at here from Inart. So we'll start with the first shot. It's a wand in hand action shot, and here you get a really good idea of what Inart have given us. It looks phenomenal. Proportions look on point. The outfit looks screen accurate to the Harry Potter films, which I ironically revisited not so long ago with Mrs. Go Figure. We watched the whole lot, including Fantastic Beasts, back to back. It was an epic, an epic sitting. But yeah, I can vouch for the authenticity and screen accuracy of this one. Obviously, we've got a rooted hair head sculpt going on here. The head sculpt itself is just something extraordinary. We've got him, as I say, in an action pose, clutching wand in hand, flat hand here, and that outfit just looks tailored within an inch of its life. It looks superb. Let's go on to the next one. We've got him clutching a potion in his role as defense against the dark arts master. And this headshot, I've got to say, and as I mentioned before, at the risk of sounding like a cracked record, there is literally no degradation that I can see from the prototype shots that were taken for this particular promotional photos that were released at when the figure was announced itself, and the actual figure itself. It is that good, but don't take my word for it. Check out the video. As I mentioned, rooted hair, the style is just right with that center parting. The color, absolutely spot on. That black with a slight sheen to it. I'm going to assume here that, like the Paul Atreides figure next to me, we're going to be looking at some product in that hair to keep that slight curl at the ends there. But yeah, skin tones, skin textures, the hint of a 5 o'clock shadow, the paint applications, the eyes, everything is nailed on here as far as I can see. I haven't fallen in to the Harry Potter, the 1/6 scale Harry Potter rabbit hole as of yet, but boy, this is tempting. This is something very special indeed. And that jacket, very simple, high collar, beautiful stitch work. Those buttons look excellent. The collars, the cuffs, and the hands. What can I say? Inart hands. I'd put them up there with Caustic Plastic as one of the best hand makers in the world, but I've got a strange hand thing. That's just me. Let's move on to the next. Side view here. Once again, there isn't a bad angle with this head sculpt. It's the gift that keeps giving. Those eyes are so glassy and so well done. And each one of these shots could very well have just been a screen grab lifted from one of the Potter movies, in my opinion. That hair, phenomenal. Again, we're getting to see close up here with those strands falling down the side of the face. Superb work here. And once again, that outfit, beautifully done. On to the next. Yeah, I'm going to let the pictures speak for themselves here. I'm just going to let this soak in for a second or two. How good is that? put a comment in the comment section below. Inart are knocking it out of the park. Yes, it's reflected in the price point. It's a big ask. The wallet strains, but look what you get for your money. Is that not simply superb? Loving the detailing on here, loving that head sculpt. Can't fault. That could be head sculpt of the year for me, that one. But we've not looked at Catwoman yet, so let's zip on to the next shot. We're getting to see the stand here for the first time. Relatively straightforward. I'm going to assume we're looking at a magnetic base here that we have with all the Inart figures. They could be hit and miss. Regulars to the channel will know my feelings about Inart bases. Yeah, the positioning of the magnets there, the size of the magnets, I'm hoping they've addressed that issue because, yeah, toppling is a word that always springs to mind when I look at Inart bases, but it's one of the few minor niggles. Hopefully they'll have done something about it, but yeah, definitely a magnetic base that we're looking at here, and a relatively simple one. I'm going to lean in here. Yeah, it just looks like a piece of stone flooring from Hogwarts, and there's a very subtly done, if that Explore will get out of the way, nameplate at the front there. So yeah, as always, as with this guy, again, very, very subtle, very, very beautiful, but very, very subtle and not detracting from the figure itself. And that outfit, superb. The tailoring looks phenomenal. You've got the gown, you've got the cape going on. The trousers themselves quite baggy. You've got the undershirt there, the undercoat rather, and the fit, the finish, the fall, the proportions, all absolutely a home run. On to the next one, three-quarter shot here. We've got him in that sort of formal position. One hand behind the back and his hand over his stomach area. Amazing. That's all I can say about this this particular piece. Amazing. I never thought in my lifetime I would see the progress in 1/6 scale figure making that I have seen. Superb. And genuinely, to find a figure that takes my breath away is a rare thing these days. I'm old and jaded. I've been collecting for many, many years, but it's so great to see Inart breaking new ground here. Head sculpt is something of beauty there. On to the next shot. We've got an all shot here. We've got him holding the wand, minus the gown. And you can see the tailoring in that sort of three-quarter coat there is beautiful. Hoping we're going to have some wiring in there if we want to go for dynamic wand action poses. But it's a very, very straightforward suit, this. However, regulars to the channel will know tailoring like this has to be absolutely impeccable. The stitch work needs to be superb. The choice of materials, getting that fall right, getting that finish right, and it looks like Inart have done it again. On to the next, another headshot. We're seeing that stitch work in the overgown there, and the contrast in slightly in colours there between the gown and the undercoat. Absolutely on point, and that stitch work, impeccable. The head sculpt here is slightly paler than the other shots. Now, I'm assuming this is down to the lighting. You've got this sort of background going on with lights coming in, which is obviously meant to replicate Hogwarts Great Hall. But I don't really think it matters how you light this, whether you go for a more a warm white, which gives it that slightly more tanned look, or whether you go for this, which looks like it's been done with a harsh white to give him that pale look. Really, I don't think you can look. This is going to be the figure that photographs itself. On to the next, another close-up of that head sculpt. Yeah, just phenomenal. Once again, could be a screen grab from the movie, as could that. Just excellent work here. And Inart have dropped a shit ton of photos on us, but I don't get bored of looking at these because I think they are just excellent. Hands beautifully sculpted there. You've got slight reddening on the knuckles, skin tones, skin textures. Looks like you've got vein work in there, bone work in there. Yeah, chef's kiss to Inart on this one. Now we're switching to a slightly brighter white background here, so we can see the detailings. You can see that base there, and it just says Severus Snape. Very simple. No mucking about there. The articulation looks great. It's not going to be one for super dynamic poses, although you might have him wand akimbo in a sort of wand fighting pose. But I like this. This is very, very in keeping with Alan Rickman and Alan Rickman's character there, just holding the wand, arm behind the back. A shot from the back there, just so we can get an idea of that gown. That length looks absolutely on point. It used to drag a little bit on the floor. It gave him that sort of that menacing air when he trundled into the classroom or the Great Hall. And the material looks absolutely excellent, full finish, colour, all there. Another one from the side here, so you can see the flow of that cape, that gown rather, and yeah, it's just all nailed on, absolutely. Another one here, looking a little bit more sullen, a little bit more forlorn, looking down, hands across the abdomen area there. Yeah, I really think you can. It's going to be a photographer and vlogger's dream, this one. It really is when it hits us. Another one there, arms behind the back. Yeah, and it's just the gift that keeps giving. Every shot here is something spectacular. And finally, of course, we get the accessories. Now, not a vast amount to go at here. You've got the hands, and you've got several swap out hands there, obviously the magnetic base, and we can see the detailing on those trousers as well, and those shoes, beautifully shiny shoes there. Gonna have to assume they're going to be sculpted plastic, and the detailing of the buttons at the bottom of the pants themselves. Great to see the attention to detail here from Inart. Now, I'm not 100% certain whether these accessories come with the deluxe edition, whether there's a deluxe and a standard edition. I have watched the video, and in the video you do get a table, and atop that table you also get these wonderful test tubes. There's a full set of test tubes. There's a bottle of potions going on here. There's some herbs that he's pinched from the herbology class, and you get this little cauldron as well. Oh, and you also get this book here, potion making book as well. So you can have a little table there with all the bits and pieces on as well if you're wanting to use that in the display. That will ground it, that will give it some placing as well. So I'm going to assume that's coming with the deluxe edition, but let me know in the comment section below. Is that standard or deluxe? I'm going to assume from this point it's deluxe. And finally, the complete all shot. You've got Severus on the left there, that magnetic base, cauldron, all the potions, all the test tubes, the book, the bottles, and all the swap out hands. Fantastic. I've got to say, like I said at the top there, I have avoided this rabbit hole for some time, but I can feel it drawing me in. This could be fatal to my wallet. So that's the first of our figures. The second one, this is highly anticipated. Let's zip along. Oh, just a final shot there. Just if you're not totally convinced about the quality of that head sculpt. Let's zip on to Catwoman, The Dark Knight Rises, and what can I say? I have the version 2 of Hot Toys' take on Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, and I was very disappointed. I was. Check out the review if you're wanting to join me in my disappointment. It wasn't just the head sculpt, but it was the body, it was the stitch work on that suit, when it seemed to be in a time when Hot Toys were just stitching things in the dark. This looks next level. You know, if you're a Hot Toys Anne Hathaway Catwoman owner, it might be time to get it up on eBay or put it into storage. Once again, I am utterly blown away with this. First shot is the masked head sculpt, obviously rooted hair again. Now, the difference here between the Hot Toys version, and I am a huge Hot Toys fan, don't get me wrong, I love Hot Toys. I've got a huge selection of Hot Toys in the collection, as regulars will know. But this is something else entirely. This is a different animal entirely. That hair looks phenomenal. It really does. That hairline, the fineness of how they have done this and captured that hairstyle is truly excellent. The face itself, okay, we've got the mask on. It's slightly covered. But the skin tones, the textures, the lips, the eyes, which no doubt we'll see in other shots, looks amazing. Let's zip on because I want to see an unmasked head sculpt here. The hair, the colour looks right, the fall looks right. Obviously, I think we're going to be seeing product in the top here to keep it flat to the head and probably down the tips of the hair as well, the strands of the hair. But overall, that head sculpt, the proportions look right. We're getting our first glimpse of this suit here. Wasn't too happy with the material that Hot Toys used in their 2.0 version of Catwoman. I'm pretty certain that Inart aren't going to let us down here, and that mask looks screen accurate as well. Here we're getting to see the mask with the goggles on top, which give her that sort of that cat eared look. Looks absolutely excellent. The detailing on there, I'm going to assume this is sculpted plastic. No doubt we'll get a full look at the goggles as well. Lips are nice and red, perfect shape to that mouth there, and the smooth skin texture that Anne Hathaway had in the movie. Yeah, gobsmacked on this one, as you can probably tell, folks. On to the next. We've got our first all shot, so we can take a look at these proportions. That looks right to me. What can I say? You've got the incredibly high heel boots there with the silver stiletto heel, screen accurate, on point. Hoping these are going to be leather. Not sure what this is made out of. I have read the blurb, but I'm an old man and it's gone out of my head at this point in time. But yeah, the belt looks absolutely excellent. The proportions, as I mentioned, yeah, super slim in the right areas, filling out that suit in the right areas as well. Articulation looks great. We've got that fully posed arm on the hip there and holding the gun Bond style next to the side of her head. Yeah, looking phenomenal. And our first look at the base as well. Looks like we're getting another magnetic base here. We've got a very, very simple, what looks like a metal nameplate on there. It just says Dark Knight Returns. And I'm going to assume, once again, it is metal. Just what looks like could possibly be the floor of the building of the final confrontation. Not 100% certain. But once again, it's in keeping with that aesthetic. Inart give us stylish bases, as I mentioned, but they don't overpower the figure. We don't have hulking dioramas or anything like that. They go for that classy, minimalist look. Let's zip on to the next shot. Great to see here we're looking at removable goggles. That was another thing that the Hot Toys version 2.0 suffered with. It didn't have removable goggles. Now it looks like you can go for the full 3 looks here. You can have without goggles, you can have with goggles on the top of the head, or with the full set down over the eyes. And it looks like they've nailed that on as well, with that deep red tinge to those lenses in the goggles themselves. And once again, you're seeing the form of this figure, the proportions of this figure look nailed on, and the articulation looks great. That belt, I'm going to lean in here, that belt looks very subtle with the silver highlighting on there, maybe some dry brushing on there as well. Overall, yeah, that looks absolutely excellent. Sculpted in, I'm going to assume a zip here, non-functional. This is a non-removable suit, but why would you want to remove it? Well, please don't drop a comment about that in the comment section. Gun looks really, really well done, that handgun, and the material they've used in this suit looks excellent. Let's just hope it stands up to the rigors of dynamic posing, because at the end of the day, it's either museum pose or super dynamic with this figure. There's no in between. On to the next shot. Yeah, we're looking at the boots here. Now, I need to double check this actually. Are we looking at, I'm not 100% certain what the material is here. Is this going to be leather? It would be great to see. This figure is due to drop Q2 2026, but it's going up for pre-order on the 28th of November. So fastest finger first. Be sure not to miss it, but that material looks like it will stand the test of time, and loving, even down to the serrations on that stiletto heel. Inart, I've got it nailed on. We're getting closer to the unmasked head sculpt here. We can see those goggles on the top there, that red tinge that I mentioned. Once again, the eyes here are looking superb. You've got that really deep brown color of Anne Hathaway's eyes, and how can I describe? Well, she's got eyes like dinner plates, let's face it. She's got huge eyes, stunning eyes, and it looks like Inart have captured that as well. Zip on to the next shot. Posability, most certainly not an issue here. We've got her perched on the end of something here with her legs crossed. You did that with a Hot Toys figure and you'd be in trouble. That's all I'm going to say. On to the next one. Now, completely without goggles, without anything encumbering the view of that head sculpt. Wow, that's what I'm going to say there. That is incredible. That is Anne Hathaway, 100% as far as I can tell. Those eyes, really just the right size, just big enough, not too big. I think Hot Toys took the easy route with the unremovable mask, which basically meant that they didn't have to go all in with a head sculpt here. Inart haven't shied away. No doubt the price point's going to reflect this, as with the Severus Snape, but boy, what have they given us here is something superb. Once again, you can see that that hair is the right color, that hint of chestnut brown going on in there. The hairline itself, the skin tones and textures, the shape of the nose, those full red lips, and those super distinctive eyes have all been captured incredibly well here by Inart. Another shot here, yeah, straight on. There isn't a shot here where, once again, as with the Alan Rickman figure, there isn't a bad angle here. Inart really are doing some stunning work, and yeah, superb proportions. Those eyebrows, absolutely on point. Side view here, mask back on. We can see the proportions there, as I mentioned before. Absolutely on point. Let's zip on to the next. Straight on with the hair over the shoulders. Yeah, nailed on. Amazing work here from Inart. I think this is going to be a no-brainer for Mr. Go Figure. I think fingers poised on the 28th. As soon as that pre-order window opens. Once again, full-length shot, that suit. Yeah, it's all there. It's all there. Magnetic base here. Now, I am seeing a crotch cup here. And now, is this in conjunction with a magnetic base instead of? I'd like to see it in conjunction, but you're really going to suffer when you've got these kind of high heels, these stiletto boots, with the magnet system. Maybe there isn't a magnet system because the magnets are going to be so small, they're going to be in the front of the feet. I have this issue with the Vampirella figure. When you go for anything with that kind of stiletto heel, you've got very little surface area to work with. So is this an and/or? Have they given us both and just given us this crotch grabber to sort of provide some extra support? Who knows? Yeah, even with that crotch cup in that walking pose, that looks amazing. Really, really does. Could have just come straight out of the movie and straight onto the stand. Onto the next, another side shot there. Mentioned the proportions, so don't need to go there again. Those boots are riding just up to the right section there. Bum in proportion, the chest is in proportion. That hair, all superb. Loving that shot, absolutely amazing. That would be the pose I would probably go for in the display. Probably minus mask though, because I think that head sculpt is that good. It just begs to be displayed without the goggles. Onto the next. Yeah, we're looking at the base here. Now, very simple shot here. Now, I'm assuming Inart have included this because it's got that magnetic option. Who knows? But it's very simple, as I said, paving on top there with what looks like a hole for that crotch cup. Yeah, crotch cup in place here. Even the crotch cup, it looks like a surgical instrument. Inart, what are you doing to us here? You're taking this to new levels. It looks like it's adjustable here. It looks fully metal, adjustable halfway up here, slightly angled in, and then that crotch cup. Yeah, great to see. Swap out hands. Gloved hands or gloved hands here. We've got fisted hands. We've obviously going to have gripping hands for the pistol itself, and then expressive hands as well for holding the goggles or for whatever you want to do with them. So what have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs, 10 hands in total. Great. Love the variety there. Close up on that base with the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm going to assume that's metal nameplate. We've got the removable goggles and the pistol. Not much in the way of accessories, but it wasn't a character that came with a lot of accessories. You got the goggles, you got the gun. Job's done. Onto the final all shot. So it's everything that we've covered here. There's the figure itself on the left, the base, the hands, the gun, and the goggles. And that is it for Inart's Catwoman, their take on Anne Hathaway in 1/6 scale, which is, as I say, going up for pre-order on the 28th. So what are your thoughts on these two figures? What are your thoughts on Severus Snape, Alan Rickman? What are your thoughts on Anne Hathaway? What are your thoughts on Inart? What are your thoughts on Harry Potter movies? What are your thoughts on Chris Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy? Nothing is off menu, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. I would be fascinated to hear your take on these two. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, there's a couple of new reviews coming up very, very soon. Talking of Batman, we have got Hot Toys 2.0 version of Batman Returns, that cult figure that demanded such high aftermarket prices. We've also got a figure from XO6 going up for review very soon. That's Christopher Lloyd's take on Krug from Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. And we've got new reviews from Hot Toys, Inart, Susu Toys, Present Toys, Caustic Plastic, XO6, Iconic Studios, the list goes on. We've got more previews, we've got more news, we've got more showcases, more tours. I could go on for hours about what's coming up, so I'll shut up. Just suffice it to say, please hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the good stuff. And I suppose all it remains for me to say, as always, is a massive thank you for watching from Anne Hathaway, from Alan Rickman, and from myself. Take care of yourselves, and until next time on the channel, happy collecting.